Hello! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. Today we are moving on to the second color in my water activated liner collection series. Last week we did red, so today that means we're doing orange. You could probably already tell by the orange shirt and the earrings in the title of the video, but I'm just so freaking excited. We're gonna skip right through my normal intro and get right to swatching. Now I think I want to switch things up a little bit from how I did them on the last video, and instead of going brand by brand, I'm gonna compare like colors because I feel like that'll be more helpful to you as a consumer to see the shades that look like they could be dupes right like one on top of the other, especially on my arm swatches and everything too. So I'm gonna be skipping around through brands a little bit, but I'll make sure to put the brand name and shade name on the screen so it's easy to keep up. And as always, I will have all of the shade names listed and linked down below. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you love orange eyeliner as much as I do, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching because it's coming at you right now. Alright, we're gonna start off with my neon oranges. This is the darker of my neon oranges, and then we have some lighter neon oranges too. We got a lot of neon in the orange category. But this shade is Hot Pants from Gavissi Beauty. Super gorgeous, super vibrant, very electric looking. I love this shade. And here it is swatched on my wrist too. Hot Pants from Gavissi Beauty. Alright, now moving on to the shade Radiant from By Melolops. As you can see, they look very similar, but let's see if they look similar on the eyes. Will they look similar? Oh boy, yeah, these are looking like dupes to me. I mean, you really can't even tell that I put on two different water activated liners. They look exactly the same, but let me swatch it on my arm. I'll swatch these a little further apart from each other so you can see that they're two different shades. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say these are dupes for each other. I will be fully honest and say that I like the Gavissi formula a little bit more than the By Melolops formula. I find that the By Melolops one does tend to crack if you build it up too much, where the Gavissi one doesn't crack quite as quickly. Alright, and my last shade that I think is gonna be a dupe for the other two shades is Orangeade from Glisten. This is in the collaboration palette they did with Wendy's World, but you can buy it on its own too. And I have a feeling it's gonna look exactly the same, but let's see. It just looks like I keep making the line wider and wider, but they are, believe it or not, three different colors, three different liners, three different brands. Here it is swatched on my wrist. Yep, I would say all three of these are dupes. The Glisten formula is really phenomenal too. I find that that one doesn't crack even when you build it up a little bit. I'd go with the Gavissi or Glisten one just because I like the formulas a little bit better than the By Melolops one, but buy whichever one's more accessible to you. I will have all of my affiliate codes and everything listed down below. I do have affiliate codes with Glisten and Gavissi, but you can use somebody else's code for By Melolops if you do want to buy that one. So yeah, here's Orangeade from Glisten. Yeah, these are the dupiest dupes I've ever duped. Moving on to the lighter of my neon orange shades. This is the shade Beam from By Melolops. Alright, now let's go in with the shade Beam. Yeah, as you can see, still very neon, but definitely significantly lighter than this side. And I'll go ahead and swatch that on my arm for us too. Super pretty. Alright, let's move on to this neon orange shade from Suva Beauty. This is from their UV Festival palette. The name of this shade in particular is High. It's a split liner, so you get both of these. Will they be dupes? Let's see. No, these are not dupes. Okay, I think High maybe should have gone on the other side. I don't know. It's almost like an in-between shade. I need to swatch this one on my arm to see. Yeah, dude, High should have gone on the other side. Okay, well now I'm gonna swatch it on the other side so we can see if it truly is a dupe. It looked lighter in the pan to me. I think it's because it has a shimmer next to it. Okay, so now going in with the shade High from Suva on this side. Yep. Another dupe. So that one is more of a dupe for this side. Okay, moving on to a shade from Gavissi Beauty. This is this split pan tangerine, but I know you can buy this shade on its own. I'll put the shade name on the screen. I'm gonna swatch this one over the first color so we can see how they look right next to each other. Yup, that's a dupe. That's a dupe if I've ever seen one, dude. Those two shades look exactly the same. But as I mentioned earlier, I do like the Gavissi formula a little more, so I'd say if you're looking for an orange in this shade, go with the Gavissi one. And here it is swatched on my arm. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and wipe these off my eyes, and we're gonna start over with another round of oranges. We got a lot more to go. These next few oranges, I would put in your classic orange category. This one might be a little lighter than all of them now that I'm looking at it. These are your oranges. your orange fruit colored oranges. Let's put them on my eyes. First up, we have Mimosa from Glisten Cosmetics. Now this one does have a hint of a pearly finish, not shimmer. It's just got like a little hint of pearlescence to it. And here's Mimosa on the eyes, a super pretty orange. See what I mean about just like a hint of sheen to it, but not super shimmery, still very opaque. Doing my wrist swatch as well. Wrist swatch, wrist swatch, wrist swatch, wrist swatch. Try saying that 3 times fast. Next up is Mango Sunrise from Gavissi Beauty. This one's a true matte orange, no pearlescence to this one. All right, let's see how similar they look. Mango Sunrise, okay, yeah, they honestly look very similar. I would say Mango Sunrise is just a true matte version of the first one we tried. What was that called again? Mimosa from Glisten. Let's see them right next to each other. Okay, yeah, very similar. I also might say Mango Sunrise is like a hint more warm toned, like a hint more warmth to it than the Glisten one, but both very pretty, just different. Like I said, the Gavissi one is matte. All right, now moving on to the shade Tropical from Glisten. Now this is part of a split liner, so you do get both an orange and a pink. Like I said, yeah, this one is not a dupe. It's definitely a little bit lighter than the other two, but it is a pretty color. Yeah, definitely not a dupe, but very pretty, more of a yellowy orange. And because I am a curious cat, I'm like, what will happen if I mix the orange and pink together? Will that make it closer a dupe orange? Okay, this is that orange and pink shade mixed together. Wow, yeah, that made it more of an orangey dupe for the other two. It might still be slightly lighter, but good to know. And here is that shade swatched to my wrist. Isn't it interesting? That's orange and pink mixed together. Wild. Okay, on the other eye, I'm gonna do my oranges that don't really look orange, that look brown in the pan, but I am told based off their website descriptions that they are orange. So we're gonna see. This is Cookie Dough from Glisten. Yeah, this just looks so brown to me. I'm like, really? An orange? Okay, you told me it's orange. I believe you. Okay, this is Cookie Dough. Ooh, that was a really thin swatch. Let me thicken that up. This is a very unusual orange for me. Yeah, it's very neutral, very on the brown side. I don't really like shades like this, but if you do, then maybe check out Cookie Dough. Okay, my other brownish orange is also from Glisten, also in the Wendy's World palette, but you can buy the shade on its own, I believe. It's called Papaya. Okay, here's Papaya. All right, Papaya is definitely a little lighter, more on the yellowy side. I don't really like that much. I don't like it on me, I should say, because I have cool undertones, so sometimes like yellowy oranges like this, I just don't think look good on my skin tone, so I'm not a huge fan, but here's Papaya. I am done with this category now. Oh, I almost forgot to swatch them on my arm. Okay, that's Papaya, and that's Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough is more of a mustard now that I look at it on my arm, which I guess is fine. Weird thing I want to note, those shades stained my wrist, whereas the previous neon shades didn't. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's because the neon shades have more of a white base, where these ones are more of like a yellowish base, but just something to note. All right, now we're gonna move on to pastel orange, which I don't tend to go for a lot because if you can't tell, my skin is kind of a pastel orange, so I feel like these just tend to disappear on me. This is the other half of Tangerine from Gavissi. All right, here is Tangerine. Yeah, okay, you know what? This does pop on my skin tone. I don't know what I'm talking about. Does it look orange? Yeah, it looks kind of yellowy orange. Yeah, it looks orange. It looks orange. And here is Tangerine on my wrist, looking good. All right, moving on to the shade Creamsicle from Be Elegant Cosmetics. Okay, and here we have Creamsicle. All right, a close dupe. Wow, on the eyes it looks exactly the same, but I feel like looking up super close, Creamsicle maybe has a teeny tiny hint more of red to it, but I mean, clearly undetectable on the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and call these dupes. All right, now we have the shade Ray from Glisten. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, another doopy dupe. I'd say Ray is like the neutral in between of these other two shades, but again, I mean, they all just blend together on the eyes. I really don't think they look that different. If I'm being really nitpicky, I would say this one is the most neutral of all of them. This one honestly looks like it could be somebody's skin tone. It's not mine, but it does kind of have a fleshiness to it. I don't know if that's something you look for in your oranges, but if you do, go for Ray from Glisten. But here they all are in my eyes. All right, moving on to our peaches. I would say these and the neons are like the most used of all of my oranges. This is a neon peach from Gavissi. It's the shade Total Babe. I love this shade. And here is Total Babe on the eyes. Like I said, absolutely beautiful shade. Such a pretty summery shade of orange. Is peach orange? Peach is kind of like a mix of orange and pink, right? I think it makes sense to include it in the oranges. And here's my my little wrist swatch. All right, moving on to our next peachy shade. This is more of a pastel peach. It's also from Gavissi Beauty. It's the shade Cake Pop. And let's go ahead and swatch that under Total Babe. Clearly not dupes from each other, as you can see from my wrist swatch and from on the eyes. This is definitely a pastel version of that top shade. And my last pastel peachy shade is from Suva Beauty. It's from their Doodle Delish little split liner situation here. This one might be a dupe for Cake Pop, but I can already tell you I like the Gavissi formula better than I like this peach. I don't know, I just didn't love this peach the last time I worked with it. I'd say they're dupes though, for sure dupes. Looking at it right next to each other, I feel like they just kind of blend together. Let's see what they look like on the wrist. Yeah, I mean, it's maybe a hair lighter, like a teeny tiny hair lighter, but I'd say they're pretty close to each other. And like I said, the Suva peach formula, for whatever reason, I didn't love this one. So I'd say if you're looking for like a pastel peach, definitely go with Gavissi Cake Pop. Okay, my last two orange shades, can you believe we're finally finishing up, are kind of miscellaneous, like shimmery oranges. This is the shade Rose Quartz from Glisten, which you're probably like, Rose Quartz? This is orange. I thought the same thing. Maybe you're not thinking that, but that is what I'm thinking. And I'm not gonna wash my eyes off. I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch this under my pastels. It is a really pretty shimmery shade. Again, I'm not fully sure if I'm getting rose quartz here because it's definitely orange, but it is really beautiful. Look at that sheen to it though. Very pretty. A little swatch on my arm here. Okay, it's looking kind of peachy next to the peachy shades too. Very pretty shade. All right, now dipping into the shimmery orange shade next to the neon orange we used earlier from Suva Beauty. Yeah, this is looking like it's gonna be very sheer. This is what it looks like on its own. I think I'm gonna need to swatch it over an orange for us to really see how it goes. I mean, you have to buy this palette to get both of these shades, I'm pretty sure. So let me just try putting the orange down first and then layering it. Okay, so lay down that orange first. I'm just gonna give that a moment to dry. Here, that is swatched on its own too. It's really, really pretty and shimmery. I just have a feeling this is gonna be one that you're gonna wanna layer. And here it is over that matte orange. I mean, they are a really pretty pair. I like those together. It just kind of makes it like a shimmery version of that matte neon orange. I think it's really pretty. All right, friends, I am so tired. I've swatched so many things on my eyes. I cannot wait to go wash my face. I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know if you want me to change the format at all, if you think the last format I did going brand by brand made more sense than this. You know, I just wanted to show you the dupes that I have in my collection so you can avoid dupes in your collection. You know, unless it's a shade you use all the time, constantly, every day, I don't think any of us need like shades that match each other like this. So yeah, I hope that you will stick around with me for this series. I'll be doing the yellows next. I have a lot of yellows to do. And yeah, I just hope that this series helps you to make better purchasing decisions when buying water activated liners. And I thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, check out the description box for all of the beautiful orange shades I talked about today. Also in my description box, I will have all of my social justice links, so please check out those if you haven't yet. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!